As the #1 relocation team from YouTube here in the Phoenix area, we hear the same complaints, frustrations, and disappointments from buyers all the time. But we have workarounds for those top 5 stresses for buyers relocating into the Phoenix area. You're not going to want to go anywhere because we're going to give you the answers to these problems coming at you right after this. Hello, this is Cheryl Willis over at the Real Agent Now group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And if this is the first time to our channel or the 3rd or the 5th and you haven't yet subscribed, click that little subscribe button, tap that little like bell so that you are notified each and every time we release a new video, which is twice a week. We have over 150 videos. We love getting the information to you, not just the boring stats that you can find all by yourself, but what it's really like to live, work, eat, play, not just the good stuff. We share the bad stuff as well. But if we have not answered all your questions, or if you have other burning questions or want to know a specific area and we haven't covered it yet, you know what you need to do is just pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, or weekends, we get you back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona, even if it's super far in the future. Don't hesitate, give us a call today. All right, so no matter where you are coming from, I promise you this is going to come up. It is. You want a bigger lot size. It's very simple. We here in Arizona have so much land, and when you look at why are there so many houses right next to each other, when you go out to anything that was built since pretty much the 80s, that was probably the last era of the larger lots. The 90s was still a little bit smaller, but not as small as 2000. And let me tell you, the newer you go, the smaller it gets. Arizona is actually one of the top states that have the smallest lots. Why is that? Well, I think it pretty much comes down to this: builder greed. Hate to say it, I really do. When the builders purchase the land, they have a decision to make. I know of a recent community that was built in Chandler. It was 27 acres of non-developed land ever, and it was in the heart of Chandler, just a couple miles north. And this particular builder had 27 acres to do whatever he wanted. They decided to break the community down into 2 different types of living style. One side was single family home style, and then they were still actually recorded with the county assessor's office as a condo because they were on such small lot. Instead of going that route, they were able to build 327 individual dwellings because they could. Again, builder greed. Even if you go further outside of town, you are looking, if it has a smaller home, I get this too, I want a small home on a big lot. Well, builders don't waste their big lots on a small home. They will have criteria. If you want this lot, there's a lot premium, but it only is for this, or this floor plan, because they want to get the biggest bang for their buck. So here's the thing. Arizona is riddled with small lots. So the first question I would have for you, what is an acceptable size lot? Then we kind of go back to what's your price point, what's your budget? And then based on the size, the budget, we can make recommendations on different parts of the greater Phoenix area, different types of dwellings, and we can get you hyper-focused into an area that will suit your needs. Trying to find this all online yourself is going to be rather difficult. So give us a call early on in the process. We have a very unique beginning all the way to looking at homes. Next top thing that buyers are frustrated with. The next thing I want to talk about, and I talk all the time about, is HOAs. There's so much to talk about. I'm telling you, you need to give us a call so we can have a one-off conversation. But HOAs are there for a purpose. They're not new to the entire country. Just know that Arizona has more communities with an HOA than not. And I'll tell you, in today's world, with a lot of chaos going on with short-term rentals, it is great to live in a community with an HOA because they keep a lot of that disturbance out of your neighborhood. What people don't understand, though, is when they see a home with an RV gate, they think they can park an RV there. And I have to agree, that is misleading. So it is called an RV gate, but you know what? If you live in an HOA, you can't park your RV there. unless you give us a call. We have a list that we have compiled that has HOAs that will allow RVs. Now, there's not an abundance of them. They're not all over the greater Phoenix area, but if it's super, super important to you, you got to give us a call because we can walk you through some of those areas. But what's really important is just understanding the fees aren't a for-profit. And although $50 a month may seem like a lot to you, $50 is probably standard in today's real estate market. And the reason being is when a city gives the developer the green light to move forward with that community, the builder is responsible for putting in the retention areas, which is for our water runoff. You need those. We love the grass areas. We need grass watered. We need grass mowed. It has some trees and bushes. Those also need to be watered and maintained, and sometimes they die and they need to be replaced. Or, you see those beautiful monuments now that have waterfalls and everything, gates. The more amenities, even though you might feel like you don't use them, I'm talking about visual amenities, the more there are in the community, the more the HOA fee is going to be. You can expect on a single family home anywhere from about $30 to $50 a month when there is just kind of beautification. How's that? If you are looking in a gated community, you're looking at about $1 to $150. If you are looking at a gated community that has a community pool, you're talking $150 to $200. If you're talking a community that has a clubhouse, a swimming pool, and tennis courts, and bocce ball, and pickleball, and jungle gyms, and picnic areas, you're talking around $200 to $250. But if you give us a call, we have a long list of HOAs, master plan communities that have so many amenities that are not over $200 a month. Another thing is, and I don't know if you can see this on Redfin or Zillow, this is why you got to call us too. When you buy into some of these communities, and I'm talking regular communities, non-adult communities, there are still some pretty big shockers for capital improvement fees, transfer fees, upfront reserves. Some of these are in excess of $2,500. Buyers need to be aware, especially now that the market in the greater Phoenix area in 2023 is the pendulum swinging a little bit back towards the seller's market. It's not as slam dunk as it was 6 months ago when the market was crickets and the buyers could negotiate all kinds of things. Buyers are having to step up to the plate a little bit more now, and understanding what you get in an HOA and what costs are so important. If you are looking at 55 plus community, and I'll keep this short, watch those annual fees. Some of them are pretty pricey. If that's important to you, give us a call. We'll direct you into some of the lower priced adult communities. All right, let's get on to the next thing. HOA is a long conversation, but I don't want to bore you. The next big problem, you're looking for that turnkey home and you can't find it. I know, I feel you. The inventory is like this big here in the greater Phoenix area, and the builders have decreased their permits. So we're only going to see more of a bottleneck as the market returns to normal. Look, if you're looking for a turnkey home, you need to align yourself with a realtor, hopefully us, early on. We set up a process. We meet with you online, detailed Zoom call. We do it with you in front of a desktop. So we're doing all kinds of things on the screen. It's not a phone call. It's not an interview. It's literally boots on the ground online. We're showing you what you're looking for, totally different than what any other team will offer you. We get you pre-qualified. If you're bringing your lender, that's fine. We introduce ourselves and we work with that lender, or depending on the type of market it is, by the time you get out here, you might be better off using a local lender, and we work with a wholesale lender so that we can pass that savings on directly to you. And then before you come out here, we will handpick, we will search backwards, upside down, off market. We do a lot of off market deals because the homes that go on the market that are turnkey are multiple offers way over asking price. So it's a lot of preparation, which we do most of it. All we need you to do is give us a call. Get started as early as possible and working with one of the largest real estate companies. We are with EXP, working with the largest real estate company out here in Arizona. We have a lot of access to a lot of offline properties. Here is an exact scenario that's happening right now. We're closing next week. Buyer came in and they wanted X. Very difficult to find. The buyer was really frustrated. It had a lot to do with everything I've mentioned here. Lot size, turnkey, HOA, and other things. We finally were able to reset that right expectation. We knew exactly where to look, and now we were looking for a home that hadn't hit the market yet, so we could grab it before anyone else got in there. We were able to lock in that home before it hit the market, and we closed 5 weeks, didn't have to come in over list price. Negotiating repairs was relatively simple. Buyers are ecstatic, and they are moving here next week. We can't do that unless you give us a call ahead of time and we put all these plans together. So if you're looking for a turnkey home, we can help you find it without you going onesie twosie. You just got to give us a call. Oh, this one comes up all the time. Cheryl, I want a new home in an established neighborhood, kind of like jumbo shrimp. Doesn't really happen. So we can either go to a really, really old neighborhood, like for instance, Arcadia Light, Central Phoenix, Uptown. There's even parts of Gilbert or even Chandler that the house is on a very rural lot, maybe no HOA, and it needs a complete remodel. And those remodels are now back on the market. Those are going to be at top dollar. Those are going to be minimum 1 million. And obviously there's no cap on that. But if you are looking for a new home in an established neighborhood, that's probably what your price point is going to start at. And we will show you where those homes are and what's great or not great about those neighborhoods. Now, the other thing is there are communities, master plan communities, that have been under construction for, believe it or not, 5 and even 10 years, and they are still building it. And those are the ones that are going to be, I wouldn't say over the top, mature, but there are parts of the community that are already mature. We see the mature lawns and trees and playgrounds and amenities, but there's still a lot more to come. You need to give us a call. You can't just look online at the pretty houses and hope when you click through that it's in a more mature area. If you are looking for a newer home, you gotta give us a call. Whether it's a new home or a newer home, I'm telling you, it's not as black and white. And the builder's rep in their office will tell you anything to sell that home. Their job is not to make you happy. Their job is to get that home sold. They work for the builder. The contract is there for the builder, and they're just going like this. Can I get them locked in? That's all they care about. Okay, this is the biggest, I think, myth too. This is where buyers are completely freaked out about our wildlife. And they say they want to be close to the mountain, they want mountain views, but they don't want to be near wildlife. Well, that's like saying you want to have beachfront property, but you don't want any sand in your house. Well, good luck. It's gonna happen. But here's the thing. Not only can you go to this amazing website to do your own research, it's inaturalist.org, and you can do searches by different parts of the greater Phoenix area. This is great for once you live here as well, because if you are getting ready to go on a hike and you are going into the wild and you want to know what you might be looking for as far as not only critters, but also the beautiful flowers, especially that we have here in the springtime right now. It is absolutely beautiful. The desert is not only brown and ugly, although there is some areas that are always brown and ugly. If you are worried about living close to the mountains, then I would definitely encourage you to think of maybe having a mountain views from far as opposed to near. There is truly nothing like a mountain view right outside your back door. There are different mountains that have different wildlife and different mountains that cost different price points. So for instance, Camelback Mountain, everyone should know that is our iconic mountain, and it's also the most expensive real estate in all of the greater Phoenix area. On one side is Paradise Valley and the other side is actually Phoenix, and this is called Arcadia. And this mountain, anything near it or seeing it is a huge thing, and it is very expensive compared to every other mountain in the greater Phoenix area. If you're looking for mountain views, if you haven't looked through all my videos, because I've covered many of the other areas other than Camelback Mountain, because this is a top request. People want views, but they don't want critters. So give us a call. We'll let you know what's realistic. There are some areas that are definitely more known to seeing those critters in their backyard, although seldom in their home. And as far as scorpions, I think that's probably the very number one thing is people don't want scorpions in your home. You can not only treat your scorpions, your house, so that they hopefully don't even get near your property line, but you can also seal your home so that you don't have scorpions inside your house. So if you have other challenges that I haven't mentioned here, I'm sure you have some burning questions and you don't know who to call, give us a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, days, nights, or weekends. I will engage in a text message. We'll talk about whatever your questions are. We'll do a Zoom call. We'll go online together. I will show you all different kinds of maps and areas. We'll talk about price, house, HOA, so many different things, activity, travel, commute directions. Look, you're not going to be able to figure this out online by yourself. And most agents don't know how to do relocation. It's more than just finding a pretty house and putting you in it. Look, you have detailed questions. We have detailed answers. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. We got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. And I cannot wait to hear from you.